everybody, and welcome back to the channel. Today, another special guest, TIFOSI Tom, and with his, he's been to numerous Grand Prix, lots of stories, meeting drivers, places to go, people to see, and just an all-round top TIFOSI guy. So it's going to be our pleasure to welcome him on the podcast today. So anyway, my name's Toby here in London.
And my name's Paul here from Birmingham.
Great. Okay, welcome, Tom.
Thank you so much. We got Tom here today joining us on the podcast. So thanks for joining us, Tom. As well as being an amazing guy, you are a top TIFOSI. There's no doubt about that. And we're just looking forward to listening to some of your stories over the years, being a TIFOSI, going to Grand Prix and motorsport events. We're going to start from the beginning, though. So what age did you start watching Formula One, and when did you get into Ferrari?
Well, first of all, I'd like to say thank you for having me, guys. It's really kind of you both, and looking forward to a nice chat with you both. Well, my earliest memories really was probably when I was 8 years old, watching, I think, Monaco. So that would be around 1993. But I sort of very vaguely remember 93, 92, sort of the Williams and the McLaren and the Benetton colours. But I started getting into Formula One properly in probably 95. I remember, again, it's funny that it was at Monaco again. I remember watching qualifying and seeing the two Ferraris come out of the tunnel, sparks flying, and I think Alesi was leading Berger. And I just thought, wow, and just instantly fell in love with Ferrari, really. I mean, it was a couple of years of sort of dipping in and out of Formula One. I didn't follow it as obviously as I do now. But yeah, I mean, I used to love Jean Alesi for that year. I thought he was brilliant and so cool. And then, obviously very lucky, great time to sort of support Ferrari, because obviously Michael came the next year, and what a period we had, But funnily enough, I actually quite liked Eddie Irvine more than Michael for a few years.
Absolutely, mate. Yeah, I'm a massive Eddie fan. I know it's not popular, but
Eddie was my hero as well. Yeah, definitely.
I just thought he was really cool, He was really cool, and he wasn't obviously as quick as Michael, but Eddie sort of said it how it was, didn't he? And he was just funny.
Yeah, exactly.
He was cool. He always had nice women on his shoulders and sunglasses on. He just, he just looked cool. But and then obviously my love for Ferrari grew from that, really, and watching it every weekend. And we had Murray Walker and Martin Brundle commentating. It was brilliant times of V10s and just grew to love Michael, really, and he turned out to be my hero, really, for years and years, and still is now.
All right. Yeah, well, you've actually ruined one of my questions I was going to ask you later, but I guess I'll have to ask you anyway. But it's all good. I think we're all in the same boat when it comes to that question, but or that answer, I should say. But so, how many Grand Prix have you been to?
Right. Well, I've had to work it out a bit, because there's one or two. So I worked it out. I've attended 42 Grand Prix.
Wow, that's great.
That's 21 British Grand Prix from 2003 to this year, apart from COVID, obviously. 11 Belgian Grand Prix, 4 Italian Grand Prix, 2 Spanish Grand Prix, Austrian, Japanese, and Monaco Grand Prix.
Japanese, wow! How was that? I've always wanted to go there.
That was phenomenal. I mean, Japan alone was amazing, but it worked out really, really well, because I went to Japan one weekend. The Grand Prix one weekend, and then the following weekend had the Fuji 6 hours for the World Endurance Championship. So I managed to see both in the space of 2 weeks. And Japan on its own was amazing. Tokyo, the people, like the culture was phenomenal. Never mind actually going to Suzuka and seeing places where obviously so many famous incidents happen, or infamous incidents maybe, and just being there when, like, obviously Michael clinched the 2000 championship, to be on that bit of tarmac, and the Senna Prost clashes and all that sort of stuff, really. So
that's incredible. That's amazing. I mean, I've been to a lot, but certainly hasn't been that many. So
it's very kind of you. I mean, I've been to sort of the same sort of amount of Goodwood events and Le Mans. I've been to 3 Le Mans and quite a few WEC events in Belgium and Japan, and obviously Silverstone. So I've been around a bit. but I just love
Definitely.
it, as we all do.
Yeah, no, good for you, mate. Flying the flag all over. I love it, mate. That's great, you know. How many circuits have you been to?
So I've been to Silverstone. Well, I'll do it in sort of country order, if you like. So I've been to
Sure.
Silverstone, Donington Park, Brands Hatch, Goodwood, Spa-Francorchamps, and the Old Spa. I've been to Zolder, Le Mans, Reims, Imola, Monza, Fiorano, Modena, like the old track, of
Yeah.
course. Circuit de Barcelona and Montjuic Park, Nürburgring and the Nordschleife and
Wow.
Hockenheim, Red Bull Ring, Monte Carlo, Zandvoort, Zuka, and Mount Fuji.
Wow.
So
Wow. Quite a few.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, quite a few.
What did you think of Zolder? Because our friend here, Peter Den Ouden, you know, he was at Zolder, obviously when Villeneuve passed away, you know,
Well,
had his
fast.
accident,
Yeah,
and he's never liked Zolder, not just because of the accident. I mean that's part of it now, of course, but he just thought the place was dreary and kind of hard to get into, and just not a very nice circuit. I don't know. How did you feel about that?
well, I went. It wasn't too. There was an event taking place, which was kind of lucky. But basically, I went to. I think it was the 2015 World Endurance Championship, 4 hours of Spa. Which for people who don't know, they race on a Saturday. So I travelled back on a Sunday via Zolder just to pay respects to Gilles and just
Yeah.
to see where he, because there's a little memorial there to see where the accident
Right.
happened and etc. And they had like a car club thing there, so that was quite lucky. But yeah, it was quite dreary. The pit buildings haven't changed
Mhm.
since the 80s, I guess, maybe before the
Right.
70s. But everything's quite run down, quite old, and it does feel,
Mhm.
even though it's quite a nice area, it does feel quite yeah, quite negative. Whereas
Yeah.
yeah, when you get to Reims, you've got the old pit buildings there and the old grandstands on the outside of the town, but that gives you a lot better, nicer feeling of like real history there. Whereas
Mhm.
I guess like sort of Peter's referring to, it feels quite, you just know, obviously being Ferrari fans and Gilles fans, that something horrific happened there, and it's
Yeah.
just hard to comprehend in a way as well.
Yeah,
Um,
absolutely. Peter's never spoken highly of the place, so I was just curious, you know, to see how other people thought about it. Not that I was disbelieving him, you know, we've all got our
uh,
opinions and thoughts on it, but
yeah, no, absolutely. I mean, I would definitely recommend if you ever like were going past to pop in and just see it. But it probably wouldn't be one like to, specifically
not a
go to.
highlight.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, fair enough. Yeah.
So, Tom, moving on, all these 42 Grand Prix and events, Goodwood, WEC, all these different events been to. Any interesting stories to talk about? Maybe seeing drivers or anything
Well,
happened?
Come on, out
where
with
do I
it. There's some
start?
juice here. There's some juice here, I can
Uh,
tell. Yeah.
I'm not sure if it's the juice. I mean, I'm very lucky to have met a lot of drivers
Mhm.
over the years. Meeting Michael was one of the
Yeah.
highlights. Met him more when he was in Mercedes and after he finished at Ferrari than he was at Ferrari. I only met him 5 times.
Mm.
But unfortunately, I never got a photo with him, which is what a big regret I have. Like, I
Um,
always
yeah,
tended to get autographs, always wanted to
yeah,
get autographs from him and
yeah.
sign pictures, and because it was mad, fans
Mm.
go mad. I just never did, and like selfies weren't really a thing, if you know what I mean,
No,
back
yeah,
then.
they weren't. Then,
Right.
So that's a bit disappointing. But yeah, I'm not sure if I've got any like juicy stories as such. But I've got some great experiences at Goodwood with people like John Surtees and Sterling Moss, who are
Mhm.
absolutely wonderful people.
yeah,
Amazing to meet, and they would certainly give you time of day.
yeah,
Whereas, I mean, it's just been phenomenal, really. I mean, the amount of amazing friends I've made as well, like yourselves and other people. I've met my fiance through Formula One. I've
yeah,
been to places
Fantastic.
that I would never dream of going. Really, it's
yeah.
kind of
Mhm.
it's given me everything, really, to be honest.
That's amazing.
Um,
That's
yeah,
beautiful.
very, very.
I mean, obviously, like Paul just said, you've been to a lot, and we've just heard you've been to many, many places. But do you have one particular favorite?
Oh, it's probably got to be Japan. I think that was just
Right.
phenomenal. It was just phenomenal. You know, people. I don't know if it's because I'm like, you know, Western. I'm not sure, but you'd go down the pit lane and people would just come up to you and ask for pictures and stuff like that. It was so weird, and yeah, the fans go crazy and they all dress up,
I know they've got
and
those
there's
crazy hats and outfits. Yeah,
and
no,
they're
it's
so
fantastic.
passionate about it. They honestly, it's just mad. It blows my mind even just thinking about it. You know, it was
Yeah.
that was phenomenal, really. Yeah, I
It
mean, if
just
any,
seems like there's no bad vibes there at all. Like everyone's just out
no,
loving racing and Formula One, and they're there wearing, all kinds of outfits for all teams and all drivers, and there's no animosity, no kind of tribal, crap.
oh,
It's just they're just out there loving
yeah,
it, right? So
yeah,
I love
the
it.
respect they have for each other and for other people is
Mm,
phenomenal. And you get that through just going around Tokyo. You know, people will ask you if you need any help, and you don't even know them, and just things like
yeah,
that. They're so kind and caring. And at the circuit, you know, they all love their history. They're so um using their initiatives and different costumes, as you were sort of saying earlier. You
yeah.
know, they'd have like rear wings attached to their heads with
That's
DRS
it. Yeah, I
working.
loved it. Yeah, I love all that. There
Yeah,
was seen them with huge car models on their heads. Like I mean,
yeah,
where they get or make that stuff is just unbelievable to me. It's kind
yeah,
of a thing now, though, isn't it? It just keeps getting more crazy every year. But
yeah.
that's nuts.
It is.
I love it. So,
Um,
out of all the Ferrari drivers you've met, is there anyone
yeah.
particularly that like one favorite guy? You like
Uh,
obviously. I'm guessing you're going to say Michael, obviously, but then maybe
uh,
Eddie.
I only met Eddie once at the 2009 Festival Speed, and he wasn't the most um, engaging of people, really. I mean, you know,
Right.
Michael was difficult. Not difficult. He was sort of okay, but it was always going mad around him when I met him.
Yeah. Yeah.
Until 2012, where he gave me so much time in Belgium. I literally had basically I was going to Belgium and then Monza back to back, and I was going to do Maranello in between. And I had him in the pit walk, and I had 5 photos for him, thinking I'll get maybe 2 signed at Belgium, 2 in Monza, you know,
Yeah.
something like that. You know, just try, you know, because the worst thing to do is go with just one picture and you get it done in Belgium, and then you see him, you know,
Right.
Monza, and you went to different for him, sort of thing. So
Mm.
that was my sort of plan, and he signed like all 5 photos for me, and plus my autograph
Amazing.
book, and that was just it was just around just before he announced his retirement, second time round, and I think he knew he was going to go, and he just gave
Yeah.
so much time to fans. And like I said, unfortunately, I never got a picture of him, but I got there's some photos online of that pit walk,
Mm.
and I'm sort of in the background of him, so I kind of taken that as a
Nice.
photo with him, really.
Yeah.
That's your selfie. That's it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Sebastian Vettel, he was absolutely superb. He was
Mhm.
brilliant. He would always give you so much time and have a laugh with you and a bit of banter.
Nice.
You know, he was the best one, really. Kimi was difficult at first, but again, in his later years, he seemed to be a lot better.
Mhm.
Charles Leclerc Carlos Sainz is very good. Leclerc's good, but he
Mm.
rushes a lot, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
and I get it, you know, because there's more demands these days for them. But I guess
Mhm.
the older guys, people like Surtees, he
Mhm.
was fantastic. Patrick Tambay was brilliant.
Yeah.
When I met him, Alan Prost was superb when I met him. You know, John Lacey's been really good. Berger, he's okay, but again, he's sort of not really. He's not really interested, to be honest. He's just more interested if there's any nice girls around or something. You know?
Sounds like a good
Um,
guy. What are you talking about?
yeah, no, he'd be a good laugh, I think, if you went for a beer with him, that's for sure.
I think so. Yeah.
Um, yeah, so I don't know. I mean, yeah, most of them have been really good, to be fair.
Yeah.
That's very
Um,
cool. Yeah. No
yeah.
nightmares. No absolute nightmare scenarios where you've sort of walked up to
Um,
them and stuck your hand out and they just sort of walked away like.
yeah, sort of Kimmy, but he was in drove for Lotus.
Right.
And there was only 4 of us waiting for him. And this is before I even met him for the first time. He literally came over and he signed for the 3 guys, got to me, didn't even bother me, just walked in.
Oh no.
And I was just like, no, like, you know, but
Oh.
that was pretty heart wrenching, really.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Um,
And it's Kimmy, you can't. I mean, you can't not love Kimmy, right?
No,
Regardless.
absolutely. But then, like, ever since then, I've sort of met him so many times. He's been brilliant. He's been far better, in his second stint at Ferrari than he was at his first.
Mhm.
Yeah, I love Kim. He's brilliant, really.
He's the man, isn't he? Yeah. And our last world
Yeah.
champion. So hats off to that.
Absolutely.
Yeah, no, he was very good, and I don't know, Paul might know. It's quite a while ago now, but I did race him actually in Switzerland.
Right.
I did what do they call it, like snow carts. So it's
Oh yeah.
basically go kart
Mhm.
but with spikes on the tires, and I got amazing, really. I got a trip with Shell. It was all paid for, and they flew me to Lucerne and from Heathrow, and I did race him against Kimi Raikkonen, and I finished second to him. So that's kind of my
Fantastic.
claim to fame, really.
Wow, that's brilliant, isn't it? Wow, that's fantastic.
But what I don't
That's
tell people
amazing, mate.
is, well, there's a video on YouTube about it,
Yeah,
which I'll send you the link.
thank
Do,
you.
and
What
I'll put that up here. Yeah, do that.
Yeah.
what I never tell people is in the second race I stoved it straight into a snowbank, and that was that on the
Yeah,
first corner.
we'll edit that out. We'll edit this out. Yeah, yeah. That never happened. That part never happened.
I know.
That's
But
fantastic.
yeah, I was very lucky, to be fair. I just a random message on Twitter from Shell, and they picked me and another lady from Poland, I think, and we went there. So I was very, very
That's
lucky. Yeah,
incredible. Wow.
yeah, that was
Anyway,
amazing.
anyone knows you, Tom, over the years in Grand Prix? You had that famous sort of salmon pink Ferrari cap. I know you can't find it at the moment, which is no problem. But anyway, this cap did so many Grand Prix and events, didn't it? It went from
Yeah.
red to pink, and it's like an old trucker's cap with the frayed beak bit. And so, yeah, you've got this. Have you got a new cap now? You've decided. I know you don't like sponsors on the side and things.
Well, it was difficult. Basically, I mean, I used that cap on my first race, and it, like you say, it's been with me every event. Really, unfortunately, I'm a bit fair skinned, so I have to look after myself in the sun. And
Like a hoodie.
yeah, exactly that. And I've been waiting for years, or hoping for years, for Ferrari to come back and do Le Mans outright. Obviously, they do it in the GT classes, but always wanted them to do it. So when they obviously did it, like Paul, well, like yourselves, went to Le Mans last year, and I thought I'd retire it after, Ferrari won Le Mans, and it was 20 years since I first used it. So now I use the 51 winning Le Mans cap. It's not quite as good quality as the old,
No,
the old stitched Ferrari badge. I mean, I'm not sure it's going to last 20 years. It might last till
no,
next year. And I might have to get another one, but
no.
yeah,
That's brilliant.
Wow,
It's
that's
yeah,
funny because
incredible.
I always laugh and think of you when I drive to work sometimes as a postman, and he's
yeah.
got a Ferrari cap on. I mean, all this stuff, and it's gone pink. So he's had it about 20 years as well on the same post run every day in the sun. It's so funny. I always think of you,
Fantastic.
Tom, when I see his pink Ferrari cap on the posting letters.
Well, it's
That's
quite
great.
funny because I did get recognised like 2 or 3 times on like the Sky coverage and that by people who go
Yeah.
to Formula One and know, see my pink cap. And this year, a friend of mine, they didn't recognise me because I wasn't wearing my pink cap. And I went in, spoke to them, and they go, "Oh, we didn't see you," and I was just like, "Oh yeah, well." But it was getting a bit tatty towards the end, to be fair to it.
Yeah,
That's just
it
the
started to
history of it,
shred at the
though.
front, didn't it, a
Yeah.
little bit? But
Yeah,
no,
They're
great
they're the
memories.
cooler ones. They're the way cooler
Yeah,
ones, man. I love all
yeah.
the old
yeah.
stuff. When people turn up with the brand new shiny 16 and 55, I'm like, yeah, whatever. I want to
You
see,
see
Yeah.
that, don't you, when you
I want
go
to see
to
a Ferrari guy with number 3 on the side, like the
Yeah.
Schumacher stuff. And
so
Bit
you
of
see that when you go
experience.
to the British Grand Prix, don't you? Still see Damon Hill caps and
yeah, it's
so
great.
on. Still thinking like you've had that about 25, 30 years and wear it every
Great.
year and the
Yeah,
Mansell t-shirt still
Yeah.
and yeah.
yeah. That's great. I think we figured out earlier who your favorite Ferrari driver was. I'm going to guess it's Michael. Is that where we're going?
Yeah, Michael is. I mean, I love all of them really. To be honest, I think
Mm.
That's what one of the things I love about Ferrari is a history. And you look at like drivers like Gilles Villeneuve, absolutely incredible. John Surtees I've met many times, obviously not in period, but he's just, he was an amazing man. But yeah, Michael really just, I think he was
Yeah.
just awesome. Wasn't he? Really, he was just superb. Really,
I think it speaks. Yeah, it speaks to all of us. I think because we're probably similar ages where we came into the sport, and so Michael was
yeah,
there. And he just sort of grew and it took off. And Michael was our hero because it was Ferrari, right? And he was the champion, and so I think it
yeah,
probably speaks
definitely.
a similar thing to us. But
Yeah,
but
and it
like you
shows
mentioned
you.
Eddie, Nicky as well is a big guy for me. I
Yeah.
love Nicky Lauda, but it depends. But I'm talking about myself, mate. I want to hear about you.
Well, no, you're right there. I mean, Nicky, again, we were where we used to camp at Silverstone. Nicky used to stay in a hotel nearby, so we used to see him every morning, and we would meet
Yeah,
him, and he just used to give us such so much time, and that was really
amazing.
special for us, and we got some amazing memories. But Nicky, obviously, what he went through and how he turned Ferrari around, but I think you look at the amount of world champions that have gone back since Michael left to Ferrari. We've only won the world championship once, the drivers' championship.
Yeah,
And it
yeah.
just shows you how hard it was. You got Alonso,
Mm.
and I know there's many different circumstances to why it's never happened yet, but Alonso, Vettel, multiple world champions, they can make it
Yeah.
work. Obviously we've got Hamilton coming next year. Not sure how that's going to go. Yeah, I know it's not good, is
Yeah. Let's
it?
let's roll that on. Yeah, let's roll that
We
on.
can edit that
Yeah.
out.
Yeah, sorry, Tom. Just a question I was going to ask actually.
Yeah.
What do you think of the? This is another sort of where Toby's going to put his head down. I think the sprint race is now in Formula One. What do you think of those?
I think they're a bit of a waste of time, really. I mean, I get,
Completely.
I do get that it makes maybe a Saturday more exciting, but what for me is a lot of the time, like it just ruins the race a little bit because you sort of
Yeah,
know what you're going to expect because you've already
yeah,
seen a race in the circuit. What I like about a Grand Prix is it builds up throughout the whole weekend
yeah,
Yeah,
to the
exactly.
climax, which is the
yeah,
race. And
Mm.
even live at a racetrack, the commentators say, "Oh, it's more exciting for fans." Well, I quite enjoy watching practice because I think you
yeah,
see
Yeah,
more of the cars. You see
yeah,
2 hours of the cars, whereas if it's just one practice and then you got a qualifying and a
mm,
small race, it's
yeah,
not the same amount of time. Yet the ticket
yeah,
no.
prices are still the same.
yeah,
And
Mhm.
like Austria, I mean, I've been to a few sprint races now. Austria, it was exactly the same on the race day as it was on the sprint, and it
Yeah,
was a great race. But you think, well, that's kind of ruined in a
yeah,
way
exactly.
the surprise
Exactly.
on Sunday.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
100%.
You
100%.
know,
Yeah, I just think the times they put them on are ridiculous as well on the Friday. Everyone's at work or commuting. Like you
yeah,
can't watch it. Like it's absolutely pointless. But I'm with you, Tom. Like I love the whole build up of the weekend. Practice one
yeah,
and two, practice three, quali, and then into the race and all the other formulas around it. F2, F3, the Porsche race. I love all of that. It's a
yeah,
yeah,
huge
yeah.
event,
It's
yeah,
just building up
and
to the main event, isn't it? Yeah,
yeah, and they've got this quali, sprint quali, and then the main quali. It's all back to front to me. Like
yeah, yeah.
I don't
No,
know. I
yeah,
just get rid of it. Put it in the bin, mate. Put it in the
definitely.
bin.
No,
Yeah,
definitely. And what also I think is hard work. And I know I don't have to watch all of it because, well, no one's making me. It's my decision. But you end up watching two races, two qualifying sessions, plus
mm,
all the build up and the after bit. And now it's like 24 races a year. I know obviously not all are sprints, but it's a lot of time. It's a
yeah,
lot of
yeah,
time, and it's difficult. Well, don't get me
mm,
wrong. Like I said, no one's making me do it, but I want to watch at least qualifying and the race.
yeah,
yeah,
If you look at like the race coverage. I mean, now it's like 5 hours pretty much of,
yeah.
yeah.
and a lot of it's load of shit, isn't it? Let's be
Yeah,
honest as
it is.
well.
It's
It is. Yeah,
all a
it's
lot. Yeah, a
rubbish.
lot of crap. A lot of crap. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Just
So
taking the
Um,
time. Yeah. So, Tom, I know we spoke before. Our first Grand Prix was the first 2003 British Grand Prix at Silverstone. Both of our first Grand Prix, which is
wow,
fantastic, wasn't it? Um,
amazing. Yeah.
anyway, have you got you've been to so many Grand Prix, I know. Have you got any Grand Prix planned coming up for next year or
Um,
even this year?
Well, it'd be Silverstone. No, nothing for this
No.
year now, but it'd be Silverstone next year. And I'm hoping it's mine and my good lady's 40th next year.
Yeah.
So we're looking at going to Sao Paulo maybe for the Brazilian
Oh,
Grand.
wow.
Beautiful.
Wow.
Yeah.
We both are big fans of Ayrton, and we want to. Well, it just looks amazing every year, the Brazilian Grand Prix, the atmosphere and stuff. And so we want to go and visit his grave and the big memorial they got there, and so that's the plan. And maybe a bit of Le Mans as well, and maybe Spa 6 hours again. I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Quite
Cool.
nice.
What do you think is still?
Sorry,
No,
Toby.
you can't, Paul. Shut up. I'm speaking. No, I'm just kidding.
Can I just say, you look like you've got a salmon pink shirt on there, by the way, Toby. Can you see that? Can you see that?
What?
Tom?
That's the wrong side. What?
It looks like it's gone salmon pink, your t-shirt.
Yeah, same as a cap.
You know, it's funny. This side, it's red. This side,
it's salmon pink on our screens.
Well, there you go. Nothing wrong with that.
It's all good.
Yeah, I'm all right with that. Yeah.
Who bought it you, by the way?
Maybe you did. I think. Yeah. Thank you for that.
Sorry,
red
Toby.
This side, just so you know.
You go first.
It's red.
Youngest first.
It's red. No, I was just going to say. Silverstone is. I always found recently with the Mercedes and the Hamilton, it's become pretty tribal with the British crowd. So I haven't really enjoyed going there. And I've been a lot, but so I kind of stayed away from it. But just in bed, I've always felt like it was a bit. It was just too hard work, too much like hard work. And I just wanted to go and enjoy it and not get abused. And so, I mean, how have you found it? Were you there this year?
Yeah, I was there this year, and it wasn't too bad.
Okay.
I've never really been abused, I would say. The only time I ever got grief was from a little 12-year-old kid who, I don't know if his age was, I don't know if he was 12, but he looked 12. Back in about 2006, and he was wearing a Fernando Alonso Renault t-shirt, and he just said, I support a shit team. And I was like, that's fair enough. I've never really had any problems with Hamilton fans, to be honest. Well, actually, that's not true. Actually, a few years ago, I had a front row seat at Club Corner, and I put my flag over the front, my throw flag, and they had a banner. They specially made Lewis Hamilton banner across it, and they went mad. And I was like, it's my seat. Why can't I put it in front of my seat? And they didn't like it. And I was like, fair enough. And Sebastian Vettel went on to win the race, and that was brilliant.
There you go. That's it.
Fantastic.
That's it. Yeah, fantastic.
But no, I don't. I think Lando gets a bigger cheer, to be honest, than Lewis at the minute.
I was just thinking it probably had the dynamic has probably changed a little bit, because
I think it is
Lando
changing.
Yeah,
don't know how it's going to be next year with Ferrari. Are we going to see lots of little red caps, or are we just going to see his Mercedes crap still? I don't know, but
look, we need to move on before I have a meltdown. So,
I
mean, I'm not a fan, but
just say, Tom, so congratulations to you and Sarah.
Thank you very much.
Lovely girl, looks a lovely girl, and
she's an amazing girl. I'm very lucky to be with her, and we obviously went to Monaco. Not only did we get a Ferrari Leclerc win, but we got engaged, and she's superb. She's her knowledge is amazing of the sport. She's very passionate, and very lucky to find her. So thank you very much.
I know back I saw it. You got engaged in Monaco as well.
Yeah, I got engaged literally about 40 minutes after the race. I let the grandstand clear and let everyone go, and then I proposed to her in front of the harbour, and it was very nice. So
wow, that is amazing.
It was quite a spectacular day, to be fair. So it was memories made forever, I think.
Yeah, what a day that would have been.
Well, congratulations. Yeah.
Thank you very much. Yeah.
I was in Maranello that day, so cheers to you from there as well. So that's
brilliant.
Thanks. Great. Thanks so much, Tom. It's been so insightful, and you've been to so many things and some great stories, and it's a real thrill to have you with us. And again, congratulations getting engaged at Monaco, especially after the Leclerc win. I mean, how that's perfect. It's perfect. So thank you so much for coming on and chatting to us today. Honestly, it's been great. Thank you.
Thank you very much for having me, guys. It's been an absolute pleasure, and I hope I'm invited back soon. It was awesome.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, thanks.
Yeah.
Cheers, Tom. See you soon, buddy.
Thanks.
Take care.
Cheers.